1 second. Ah, no way. All right. What's up, guys? JDB Sports here. Peyton here with me, along with you know, we're looking at the championship Sunday. So without further ado, how about we get going? Let me just go ahead and do a few things real quick, and then we'll get started over here. Peyton, you want to go ahead and with the hirings and fire, or you want to go with hirings and firings breaking news if you have any so far, then I can pick up.
Yeah. I'll start off with the most recent of the coaching cycle news. Lions actually bringing up their linebackers coach to be their new defensive coordinator instead of Aaron Glenn. They've had a history with Calvin Shepard and everything. Someone who's going to implement a lot of the same schemes that Aaron Glenn was bringing, a lot of blitz, playing man coverage on the back end, especially with that corner room right now developing and everything. So could be a solid hire there. Don't have too much to say yet. Haven't really seen him in any coordinator position as far as I know. So, but definitely got to do something about that defense after letting the Commanders hang 45 on you. So, breaking news there. And then as far as some other news we got, Brian Schottenheimer promoted from OC of the Cowboys to head coach. Kind of a head scratcher in my opinion.
That's ugly.
Not really seeing the appeal at all. Jerry Jones, I think he has a couple loose screws, and I mean, who knows if the deal for Matt Eberflus as DC is done deal, but that would be a good hire. In contrast, I think the Cowboys are a complete mess at this point with a weird sense of direction. You got Michael Parsons, a player who you want to bring back for the long term. You got Dak, who's already on a long-term deal, and you don't have much wiggle room for a team that doesn't look impressive. So definitely not good when it comes to that. A couple other head coaching signings. Liam Cohen backing out from being the highest paid offensive coordinator on the Buccaneers and using that as leverage for him on the Jaguars now. I mean, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to benefit from this greatly. You're seeing the league go more towards offensive style coaches at this point because you're not losing out during all these coaching cycles. You look at Baker Mayfield, he's had 8 offensive coordinators over the last 8 seasons that he's been playing. So just a lot of variability when you do have those defensive coaches and that revolving door of all these offensive coaches being promoted.
Yeah, for sure. Some other breaking news. We got, obviously, Robert Saleh going back to the 49ers. Not really much of a surprise there. Kind of get back to your homegrown roots and fire it up and tear it up as a D coordinator. In that lateral move, Nick Sorensen was obviously fired from that position, or let go, I believe. So you already talked about Brian Schottenheimer, right?
Yeah, Brian Schottenheimer. You can go ahead with Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll back in the saddle, being a 70-plus-year-old coach with the Raiders now. Former Seattle Seahawk and longtime mainstay over there for a while before he was out for a few years. Pete Carroll, you think he's going to bring some stability to that Raiders organization? Really? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think he's going to bring a little bit of a culture shock. You look at what the Raiders need, and it's some playoff performance. It's something to get the team going. It's some juice in that room because, again, they've been one of the worst franchises for about 30 years now, and they need a culture shock, just kind of like how the Chargers did last year with Harbaugh. You bring in someone. He's old but mighty, and he's a player's coach through and through. He's had tons of success, NFL and college level. You look back to his USC days as well. So really like that one from him.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoy the fact that, hopefully the Raiders will hopefully get back to relevance here at some point. Maybe it's a lot of optimism going into next year for sure after they clean their house. But let me go ahead and we'll talk about some of the news for this weekend. Daron Payne is officially listed as out with a finger and knee injury. And Jalen Hurts is off the injury report and good to go versus the Commanders in the NFC Championship game. So good job for the Commanders getting there. Let's hope we actually take them seriously and let's get to it. A lot of, hype is going around this game. A lot of, mysterious traditions going on with the Rocky statue being vandalized. It was an Eagles fan. It was not a Washington fan doing it. Because hail to the Commanders, and Redskins logos and gears would not be in the same outfit right there. Because that's ridiculous. There's no way a Washington fan did that. Either way, the way it looks like is Rocky's hopping on with the Commanders. They're buying into what Jaden Daniels is putting down. So,
Hey, yo.
we got another one. Jerry acquits Jabril Peppers in an assault and battery trial.
Jesus Christ, I did not hear about that.
Yeah. Calvin
Big fall
Jones.
from the top from Jabril.
Yeah. Calvin Jones, who won a Super Bowl with the Packers, dies at 54 years old. Rest in peace. You hate to see people dying early. It's too soon. 54 years old. That's really young. I mean, my mom was 48 when she passed away, and, I know a couple other people that passed away young too, but 54 is still ridiculously young.
Yeah,
We already, Bobby Slowick, after 2 seasons he's out. Those deep crosses to Nico Collins ain't going to cut it anymore, so we'll see what happens. I mean, we spoke on this before about them actually having a decent run game against the Chiefs, but they left a lot of points on the board, like you said. You want to take it away from there on that game, right, real quick?
Yeah, I mean, jumping into that game and everything, Travis Kelce left wide open on multiple occasions, and beat down the Chiefs late on the Texans. Just too many miscues in the game. Chiefs did not run the ball good. They didn't outgame the Texans, but what they do is they play situational football to perfection, and that's really what you need in the playoffs to do good when it matters. They keep it simple and they roll on to another dub.
Oh yeah. The seventh consecutive appearance in the AFC Championship game for the Chiefs with this victory. Patrick Mahomes completed 16 of 25 passes for 177 and a touchdown. He also managed to avoid sacks on a miraculous 11-yard touchdown pass to Travis Kelce, like you were talking about before. So, gotta love it.
Did you see anything that stuck out like a sore thumb in that game, worrying you about the Chiefs in their matchup against the Bills to come, or?
The fact that the Texans had a solid running game throughout. I mean, I feel like more competent teams would put them away at that point. Just keep it going and keep grounding and pounding. But honestly, no, the Chiefs are ready. The Chiefs are championship game ready, and I feel like it's going to be a hell of a game against the Bills. We'll talk more about predictions later if y'all want to stick around into that one. Thanks for coming into our live, everybody, and appreciate it. Appreciate having y'all there, having y'all here. Like us up, share us out, show us to everybody y'all know, and get ready for this championship Sunday. It's going to be a good one.
Heck yeah.
Kaimi Fairbairn missed a 55-yard attempt, and another field goal was blocked. So, tough.
Missed opportunities.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Back into this news, though. Obviously, Pete Carroll, we already talked about him.
What about Aaron Glenn Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson, he basically just said that, that runaway, that team's been built. I'm ready for a new challenge in Chicago. And I think, he gets, I feel like it's going to be a make or break. If he doesn't have success with Caleb Williams right away, people are going to be labeling Williams as a bust. And I can see it. Yeah. Especially with how good that offense made Jared Goff look. But everybody's talking about MVP Goff. The way he played against the Commanders begs to differ whether he's an MVP caliber quarterback or not. I really don't believe so, but going to go ahead and look into this. Jaguars hired Liam Cohen. Now, there was speculation and crazy stuff going on around that. So basically, when Trent Balk was still there, by the way, he's out. Trent Balk was there. Liam Cohen wasn't interested. Then they fired Trent Balk. Jaguars, Shad Khan asked him to reconsider. He ends up signing a multi-year extension with the Buccaneers, then ghosts the Buccaneers after they fire Trent Balk, takes the job, and then just says, oh, well, now I'm moving on to Jacksonville. See ya.
Love it. What a man. You're not moving far. You're still in Florida, and you leverage your deal to get many more millions.
That's a big kick in the nuts right there. That's all I'll say for the Buccaneers, especially now the fact that they have to go and get these, bottom of the barrel coordinators. I mean, you saw Dallas just hire Brian Schottenheimer, so there's not really it's kind of slim pickings until these games are over with the AFC and the NFC, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, Texans part ways with Greg Grissom. He's been with the club since its inception back in 2002. Damn,
Jeez.
that man was tenured. That man has seniority. SZA is joining Kendrick Lamar as a guest during the Super Bowl halftime performance. I love to see it. They made some good music together for sure.
Yeah, love it. And they're talking about bringing possibly more guest stars, so we'll see about that.
Hell yeah. Kevin Stefanski says he'll resume play calling in 2025. Reserves the right to change his mind, though. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I don't think Stefanski's necessarily the problem, but I don't think he's the solution either.
And then we'll talk about Bengals to replace Lou Anarumo. Notre Dame defensive coordinator Al Golden is the new DC for the Bengals.
I'm indifferent about that one.
Yeah, but so you love it, hate it. I don't really know too much about college football, so you go ahead and take the reign on that one. What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, so Ohio State and Notre Dame actually just played each other for the Natty. Ohio State winning pretty handily.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
But that Notre Dame defense, they allowed a touchdown on the first five. Or no, they allowed a score on the first 5 drives of the game, I believe. And it just seemed to be overwhelming as far as the Notre Dame defense was. But they played a good scheme all year for a team that wasn't ranked too high to begin the year and kind of going through some changes, bad quarterback play, whole 9 yards. I think their defense played elite all year. So I just don't know how it's going to fare on the NFL level, but we will see.
All right, we already talked about Aaron Glenn going to the Jets. Former player, loyalty ties. He's taking a big risk going to New York. Aaron Rodgers, nobody knows what's going on with him. Whether he should retire. Somebody talk about firing him. You can't fire Aaron Rodgers. Come on, man. Aaron Rodgers fires you. Aaron Rodgers gonna go sit in that owner's box and be like, listen here, Johnson, this is what you're gonna do. Nah. Johnson works for him.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like they try to find a replacement for him, either if he plays this last year or if he's mentoring a rookie. Well, obviously if he plays this last year while mentoring a rookie, or if they get a younger free agent, maybe the Falcons will get rid of Kirk Cousins' contract. I don't know.
Yeah. Heck no, they don't want to get themselves into that mess.
Kirk to the Jets. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I hate that. Chad don't even got to answer. They probably hate that. Two old men back to back.
Oh man, for sure.
Justin Fields or something.
John Spytek going to the Raiders as GM from the Buccaneers. Don't know too much about the man. Hopefully he's part of this good change. Hopefully they actually get. I hope Mark Davis doesn't step in and put his his freaking Chucky looking hairstyle right in the way and pick some stupid draft pick and try to step over the coach, the GM, and all that. You hire these people to make football decisions for you. I mean, if you want to be sticking your nose and being a Dan Snyder about it, you could turn around and be like Jerry Jones and be like, let's just cut the BS out and cut out the middleman. I'm the general manager. But then you see why they're so irrelevant now these days, and they hired Brian Schottenheimer. I feel like that's just not really an attractive place to go. Yeah, you got CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, you got Dak. Yeah, you got a decent offensive line. But then again, Dak ain't all it's cracked up to be. He's no MVP.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that either. I mean, again, not a desirable place by any means, especially at this point when you have to be under the surveillance of Jerry Jones, who's overly obnoxious, doesn't take accountability, and he's just making this football team worse and worse the older and older he gets.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
Yeah. So, and they were considering Kellen Moore as well. The Cowboys were, and he was in strong consideration. And I thought that would be more inspiring than Brian Schottenheimer.
I would have loved, especially since he didn't even Brian Schottenheimer didn't call plays. But anyways, I would have loved to see Kellen Moore go back and take Big D to some. You know, he was a quarterback there for a little bit, backup more or less, but he was a quarterback there. I think he did play a decent amount of snaps in 2017. I want to say.
Probably a little beforehand, but still, like the point still remains. He has that cowboy blood in him. He was the OC for them for a while, and it would come full circle if he was head coach.
Yeah, for sure. That would have been. I would have loved to seen that more. And I feel like, I don't know, Brian Schottenheimer. It just puzzles me. Does he go out and freaking have this freaking top 5 offense? Hell no, I don't believe so.
You see all the Jason Witten smoke that they're blowing too?
No, what are they trying to have Jason Witten come and be OC?
No, they're trying to get Jason Witten aboard the coaching tree, and then they're trying to eventually make him a head coach.
Oh, so they're basically just going to keep homegrowing these people. To okay.
That's the Jerry Jones vision.
Oh my god. You think Jason Witten will be a good head coach?
Probably not. I don't think he's ever coached before.
Freaking Jason Witten.
I think it's a laughing stock at this point. The Cowboys are.
I love to see it, being a Commanders fan, but Kevin O'Connell agrees to a multi-year contract extension with the Vikings. You know, who didn't see that one coming already? You know, it wasn't right. Kevin Yeah. Cowboys hiring ex-Bengals assistant Lou Anarumo. Already said that for D coordinator. I said Cowboys, right? I meant Colts. Colts hiring ex-Bengals assistant Lou Anarumo. Cowboys probably wish. Nah, Mike Zimmer's still under staff there, right? They're keeping him, I believe, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe so. I just don't think it's that inspiring either.
I would have rather had Zimmer as a head coach than Brian Schottenheimer. All right, let's.
Yeah, but Zimmer has he has limitations too. But I get you.
All right, let's go into some of these hirings right here. So I got for the Falcons, we're hiring Jeff Ulbrich, the interim head coach from the freaking Jets last year for defensive coordinator. Mike Rudenberg for passing game coordinator on the defensive side. Defensive line coach Nate Ollie. I don't know too much about Nate Ollie, but okay. Very iffy. I don't know if I like Ulbrich as a D coordinator, but I digress. Whatever keeps the NFC weaker, I guess we could talk about. Patriots, Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, and defensive coordinator Terrell Williams. Take it away on that one. How do you love this hire? How do you like this hire? How do you like these hires?
I think it's good. I think it's good raising the floor of that team. I think the Patriots project out to about 6 wins at this point. No improvements to the offense at the same time.
You don't think McDaniels comes in and pulls a master class and makes May look like Brady or what?
No, I think it's a totally different style of football you have to play today. Again, it's coming back more so to run first and dink and dunk and everything like that. However, I just think he limits Drake May in a way. Drake May is built on big shots. Drake May is built on escaping out of the pocket and making big plays, and this kind of coincides with the growth of him. So I do like the Vrabel hire because he's just going to make that defense that much better year one. And honestly, the offensive line should benefit a little bit too. Those positions that, take a little scheming and a little more effort to make them right. I think he's going to come in and fix that, but I just don't see a huge jump for the Patriots. Do you?
I'd like to think they would, yes, just a little bit. I say maybe 8 or 9 wins, but nothing crazy. No division champs or anything like that. I still think Buffalo holds that down for at least the next 6 years at the minimum. I wouldn't say 6 years. Maybe, I don't know. I don't expect them to make the division championship in year one of McDaniels and Vrabel as coach, but definitely a solid step forward from where they were this last year, and I think they win like 7 or 8. I'd say 7 or 8 games, not 8 or 9, 7 or 8.
More fair. Okay.
And then
Any other major things we haven't touched on?
we have a few actually. So let me read these down. Shoot. We got Titans. Mike Borgonzi for general manager, and they also have John Fossil from the Cowboys as a new special teams coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah, surprising. John Fossil, with the legendary Cavante Turpin. Oh man, the Cowboys ate us up in that game.
Yeah, Turpin's a speedster, that's for damn sure.
And the Browns, less hirings really of no notable concern, I guess. Offensive coordinator Tommy Reese for the Browns, and offensive line coach Mike Bloomgren. Yeah,
Okay.
Up to date, verified NFL Network, up to date coaching post. So certified, yes sir. All right, so now we got some firings real quick. Ben Kotwika, he used to be with the Commanders, back when they were the Redskins. Ben Kotwika was a former military man, I believe. Very hard-nosed special teams coordinator. His units tend to underperform, but I mean, him as a person is just that's a good man right there. And not trying to sound kind of glazing or anything like that, but Packers also fired defensive line coach Jason Rebrovich. These names are kind of insane to say. But Giants passing game coordinator and DB coach Jerome Henderson and safeties coach Michael Treller. Jeez, these freaking names are ridiculous, man. I'll tell you what. Falcons obviously. Yeah, Falcons obviously Jimmy Lake and defensive line coach Jay Rogers with Jeff Ulbrich coming in and taking duties over there. Dolphins special teams coordinator Danny Crossman and wide receiver coach pass game specialist Wes Welker was fired. 49ers, yeah, and 49ers defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen, for y'all that weren't with us earlier in the stream when we said that Robert Saleh was taking back over duties in San Francisco. And then the Raiders. The Raiders are the last one. Obviously, everybody knows about Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco. We broke that on our last stream. Offensive coordinator Luke Getsy also was out. Rich, I'm not even going to say his last name. Their quarterbacks coach, Rich, fired. Offensive line coach James Craig, just cleaning house on the whole staff, really. Nothing really much to say there. Let's go ahead and get into these games. Let's get into these games, man. We already talked about the Chiefs and the Texans, so we'll go ahead to Commanders Lions. Stay in order. Now, if you guys are Commanders fans out there like me, what a freaking game. Nobody expected us to win. We went in, all the analysts were saying that we were going to lose and we were going to get the break speed off of us, but nah, we got to it. Jaden Daniels is that man. And Terry McLaurin got really skinny on his touchdown, and he showed that he still has some type of speed. You didn't really lose too much of a step there with him getting older these days. Everybody was always concerned about him being able to break away, like as far as, burning people for touchdowns. He showed that he still can. All right, this game marked the end of his historic season for the Lions, who had a 15-game franchise record winning season. Franchise record, 15-game winning season. Jaden Daniels led the Commanders in an impressive performance, throwing for 299 yards, 2 touchdowns, and adding 51 rushing yards on the ground. Quan Martin returned an interception off of golf. Loved that one. I was happy as hell for that. And Frankie Louvu, put freaking hammers to nails on Jared Goff on an interception return, and it is what it is on that one. Everybody's gonna say it was a dirty hit. Frankie Louvu's dirty, X, Y, and Z. No,
I've never heard anyone say that. They just lit his ass up. He's in the way. Fuck off.
Yeah, he doesn't get quarterback protection anymore when he throws a pick, when he's technically a defender, when he turns into a defender, or trying to stop them from returning or whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. I mean, we've seen this multiple years in and years out. I think Chris Baker did it on Nick Foles back when and everybody back when we were playing. I think back in 2015, 2016. I think it was 2015. Big Deshaun Jackson game with Washington. So it was 2016. Anyways, Chris Baker smacked Nick Foles down, and everyone was calling him dirty for that, but that was after he threw a pick. It's the same.
Yeah.
Same rules apply here
Just
with Jared
tackle him.
Goff. Yeah, really.
Tackle or be tackled.
Lions struggled with 5 turnovers, 3 by Goff and a fumble. Well, 3 interceptions by Goff and a fumble. Definitely dismantling that MVP quarterback. Am I right there? All right. Despite gaining 521 yards of offense, we got chewed up. Jahmyr Gibbs chewed us up. I'd like to say that Devin Montgomery, Monty did not chew us. Not David Montgomery. What the hell is wrong with me? Devin Montgomery.
Yeah,
Wrong one. David Montgomery. All right. David Montgomery did not chew us up as much as I thought he would. And I'm very happy to say that. You predicted 2 touchdowns last week, I believe, for him.
And he didn't even get the red zone touches. It was straight Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs got that. Gibbs got the 2 touchdowns, so we'll give it to you. All right,
I thought he looked stronger off the injury. Oh well.
Yeah, our defense is opportunistic for sure, but we'll see how we go and play against Philly this week. Really, there's not really much to say other than, the Lions shot themselves in the foot a lot. Really, the Commanders took advantage, and then JD, they couldn't stop them. I think we went for it on 4th down more than they did, and actually they settled for a field goal at the end of that game, I believe.
Well, I think that makes sense to save time.
It does, but
yeah, no, fair enough. And as 4th and long, it's a little different when you got Jaden Daniels though, and you're converting 4th downs at the highest percentage in the league too. So
yeah, you see what happens when we kick a field goal on 4th down. We either doink it off the upright or complete mess. So our kickers. Going into the Eagles game, our kicking situation scares me a little bit. I mean, I think it's a little bit of gusty winds going on, and we have some gusty winds. It's gonna be cloudy. I think 39 degrees. Not crazy. It's not gonna be like it's snowing. It's not gonna be 10 degrees like it was back in week 16. No, it's favorable conditions, but I don't know if Zane Gonzalez gets it done. I feel like we can't rely on him. I feel like we're just gonna drag him along for the ride, just like Tress Way. Only had to punt 1 time over the course of the whole playoff so far. So.
Yeah, and I think it's just another battle of the 4th down teams. Eagles converting super highly on 4th down since Jalen Hurts has been there, and I mean Jaden Daniels looking like the next great quarterback on 4th down. So
yeah, it's the tush is push. No push is tush. All right, speaking of Eagles and the Eagles, Peyton, you want to take it away with Eagles Rams?
Yeah, I had a lot of hope going into this game that the Rams were gonna show up and show out and eke out a win in Philly, but man, Saquon Barkley is just too much. Just breaks 2 60-plus yard touchdown runs. One's almost 80 yards at that to ice the game.
Yeah, 205 yards on 2 TDs over the course of the day, 78 yards in the 4th quarter. Saquon Barkley is that man. Giants fans still punching the air. And
yeah, you just gotta pay that man.
Yeah, seriously. You got you got the division rivals, Commanders and Eagles, going to the NFC Championship game. Cowboys and Giants are definitely punching the air right now. Giants more than anybody because literally they could have had Jaden Daniels. I mean, they could have, but they couldn't at the same time because Jaden Daniels was our
big. Have to trade that.
Yeah, and I don't think we were gonna budge at all. Like unless you're like really giving us something exorbitant, but I don't think we would have budged.
You would have needed Malik Neighbors and like 2 firsts to budge. And I mean, but I don't know if you would do that. So
no. I mean, no, because then who's throwing to him? Sam Howell. We keep seeing Howell, and he's throwing to him. Yeah, I was hype on him last year. I liked the way Washington played, but looking at them actually having a decent offense this year with Cliff Kingsbury, Eric Bieniemy looked like high school. It was bad. Honestly, I look at old highlights and it's just terrible. Like I look at a lot of these other teams play too, and the struggling back and forth. I hate defensive games now. I like seeing people score. I mean, I like seeing. Let's say it's my team and it's someone else's team, right? I like seeing my team put up 40 plus points and hold them to like five, like 10 or 15, or 10 or 14, and that's it. But I don't know. It's either blowouts for me where our defense gets stingy and stops them, or I don't know. I don't really like watching 10-9 games or 6-9 games or like just
Oh,
games that are ugly.
6-9
Six
games
nine
are ugly
games.
to you?
Oh no. I mean, depending if it's clean
Oh,
or not.
oh damn.
Depending
Oh
if
diddy. Oh damn, oh diddy. Um, you think that was Cooper Cup's last game as a Ram?
personally, I don't know. I don't really want to speculate either. I feel like he could come back.
Okay.
He could.
I think he's good as gone.
Good as gone. What's up, Dodds? Thanks for joining from the short videos. Appreciate you coming all in. Appreciate everybody coming in. Thank you guys. So, without further ado, we're still talking about, the Rams, the Eagles. Stafford threw for 324 yards and a 4-yard touchdown pass to Cody Parkinson. Colby Parkinson, but it wasn't enough to complete the comeback. Jaden Carter, man. And we're going to be saying him this week, too. Jaden Carter.
Jalen. But
Jalen.
yes.
Jaden. No, Jalen. I'm thinking about Jaden Daniels. Why do I keep getting these names wrong? I gotta, come on, man.
Bunch of J's.
Either way, Jalen Carter, he was wrecking it up. Third and fourth down. Well, he pressured them on fourth down, I believe. Incomplete pass. Third down was a big sack. Honestly, they said if Jaden Carter didn't disrupt the play from the All-22 film, they would have definitely scored, and the Eagles would have been sitting at home this week.
Yeah, because he had a free rush up the middle because Bo Limmer missed out on his block, the center for the Rams. But yeah, Jalen Carter he's a beast. I mean, he dropped for a reason in the NFL draft when the Eagles took him at 9, but he's been quite the person on the field now and handling business as one of the top DTs in football.
I would have rather looked forward to playing in SoFi against the Rams, but hell, we'll take a divisional game. It'll be even that much more sweeter when we go up to Philly and we put belt to ass. I don't feel like we're gonna go 45-31, but it's gonna be. I feel like we'll be ahead. I feel like we'll control tempo. I don't feel like I don't know. I don't feel like everybody's saying Philly jumps out to a 2-touchdown lead on us, and just runs with Saquon for the rest of the game. I've seen that on a couple Eagles podcasts, but I believe it's pretty tit for tat. Saquon does get his big chunk. He does get his big 60-yard touchdown run, I believe. We whiff. I feel like they run outside and they beat us. And then Kenny Gainwell, I feel like he gets a surprise touchdown in there too, but. We'll go ahead and we'll talk about our predictions and stuff later on in the stream. But let's go ahead for this last game for Bills Ravens. Josh Allen. Oh my God! First, you know what? Let's just talk about the Mark Andrews thing. I know he probably feels bad. He's beating himself up about it. Dude's slow, and I said this already. Dude's slow. I'm surprised he can still get open. Really, dude's slow. But Mark Andrews, he's got heart. He definitely took the blame for this loss. Lamar Jackson was there to back him up. Yes, he was pissed. You saw it when he dropped the pass. He was pissed. But at the same time, later on, he came down and he basically comforted Mark Andrews. He's like, you're all right. It's okay. And then it's all right.
Yeah.
And Mark Andrews fumbled. Keep going.
Yeah, all the memes of Mark Andrews. Oh goodness, it's all bad. Don't want to show them on stream because a lot of them are TOS. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, poor guy. I mean, dropped that fumble in the middle of the field like you just talked on. Missed that open catch as a 2-point conversion, but a little of the blame here. I mean, Lamar Jackson played a phenomenal second half, but his first half of football just wasn't good enough. You have to control the games at the right times. And who's to say if they get that 2-point conversion that the Bills don't drive down and kick a field goal for the win?
Yeah, and he said that really. He said that with his mistakes, his turnovers. He basically said that's on me, and he basically, he took accountability. You love to see that
For
from a team,
sure.
even though they got bounced, they lost or whatever. It's accountability is key. You know, keep your brotherhood strong. You know what I'm saying? Don't say, oh, Mark Andrews fumbled us the game away, or he dropped a pass, or Mark Andrews could be like, oh, Lamar Jackson threw interceptions. Like, nah, man, don't blame each other. Keep it right. Keep it ready to go for next year. That's all. I mean, you guys got bounced in the divisional round. At least y'all didn't get bounced, earlier. At least you made the playoffs, unlike certain teams. You know, you guys beat Pittsburgh, so at least that's something you guys have to look forward to. You bounced Pittsburgh out of the playoffs. So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, of course you want a Lombardi. Lamar is having an MVP type caliber season along with Josh Allen, but can't really say much more than it is disappointing for Ravens fans, but they're fine. No reason to hit the panic button at all.
Hmm.
But
And then what about the Beals? How do you feel about the Beals performance?
pretty top notch, man. Every time I tuned into that game, I was just like, actually, I believe in the second half they were running all over the Ravens, or they were completing passes on the Ravens. I feel like the last few drives of the game they were really completing passes. The Ravens defense really couldn't get a stop like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
They were
mean, honestly, both teams were running the ball well in the second half. You had a one drive where I think the Ravens drove about 93 yards, and about 70 of those yards were rushing. So, doing it with big legs on the ground, and the key to these playoffs is control the clock, control the pace, don't make mistakes, and you'll come out with a win. And that's been the trend this far, and that's why I like the Bills, to go on and do what they need to do.
all
But
right. So
we'll harp on that right now.
yeah, so we can look ahead to this next week coming up and making some predictions. Let's get on that. I'm gonna pull up these games
Yep.
real quick that I got. Let's go. Let's see. I don't care about none of that. Now let's see what we got going on. Championship Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's go. Let's go with Buffalo and Kansas City first.
Okay.
Let's do
Get it.
AFC. All right, so the odds we're looking at, you know, it's +2. Well, it's +2 for the Bills, and that's what the public is taking, 79%. We're also looking at
79%. Damn it.
we're looking at -130 on the money line for the Chiefs. 57% of the public's taking that. We're also taking the over 48.5, 80%. 48.5, huh? That seems fair. It's like 24 points each, maybe 26, 24 game. I think I said something like, let me go back over our chat and see, because one second.
You said, yeah. As far as my prediction goes, I'll come out with it right away. Um, I'll go Buffalo 27, Chiefs 23. And honestly, I don't know why I'm betting against you, Patrick Mahomes, in the playoffs, but I have to this time around. If I lose a bet and you go to the Super Bowl, I'm probably going to be crying into my pillow. So let's not make that happen. Go Josh Allen.
Hell yeah, I like that one. I'm going a similar prediction with you. I'm going 30-27 Bills. I feel like Josh Allen breaks the freaking Patty Mahomes curse, and he actually beats him in the playoffs. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. And I think these are two guys playing at the prime of their powers right now. It's going to be a matchup for the ages. And again, I just really feel like this is the time for the Bills. This is their shot to get over this hump. And if they don't do it now, I don't know when they ever will.
yeah, it's do or die for them right now. So definitely taking with our predictions, we're definitely taking the 40 over 48.5 like everyone else. Sorry to be like everyone else and sorry to be a follower, but I just don't see it going under. I really don't. I mean, you can't expect these teams to not score 24 points each a game. You know what I'm saying? These offenses are decent. You know, playoff Trav is in the building. You got James Cook on the other side. You got freaking Shakir on the other side.
You got Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel, the
You got
gadget play.
Hollywood Brown.
Yes, sir.
Xavier Worthy.
You feel like
Ty
Xavier
Johnson.
Do you feel like Xavier Worthy stings the Bills or what? What do you think happens with him? Do you think he gets a touchdown?
You know what? I say he does get a touchdown this week. I mean, he was talking about the revenge factor a little bit earlier in the week because the Bills traded back actually to get Keon Coleman, their round one wide receiver, and Xavier Worthy becoming a Chief. He said it motivated him a little bit, so I'm sure we'll see him on a go ball. I'll say about 25-yard touchdown. It'll be a sizable one.
Oh yeah. All right then. So, you have any other prediction? Well, obviously you want Bills to win. I want Bills to win. So you don't think that -2? You're not taking Chiefs in any fashion. What parlays would you take for that game if you had to pick any?
So I actually took a teaser this weekend, and it moved the lines a little bit more. So I did Buffalo Bills plus 6.5, I believe, and Commanders plus 10.5.
Jeez.
Parlayed them together, and it's about 100 odds. So it's 50-50. You double your money if you win.
All right then. I feel like Kareem Hunt and James Cook are decent factors in this game. I feel like they each have a touchdown on the ground. I feel like Kareem Hunt gets a goal line touchdown. James Cook maybe like a 15-yarder. I feel like he can break it. Maybe more. Not really much. I mean, playoff Trav probably gets a touchdown. You know, the Swifties go crazy. We panned Taylor Swift yet again. We'll see. Please keep him at the Super Bowl. Just like Philly. We don't want them in there. Well, I don't. Everybody else, you guys can have your own opinions. You know, I'm not gonna hate it. If you guys want Philadelphia in the Super Bowl, by all means, I'm not gonna fault you for it. Everybody likes their own teams. Let's go ahead and get to this NFC Championship game matchup right here. We're looking at Philadelphia -6 on the lines currently right now. The odds, they're taking Washington +6, the public bet. That's 68%. You were saying plus 10.5, I believe, right? That was your lines.
I wanted to move the line a little bit. It is +6 on my book. I just moved the line because I trust that a little bit more.
Oh, they're hating on the freaking Commanders. The public bet is hating on the Commanders right now.
As far as money line,
69% of the public's back in Philly.
I mean, that makes sense with a minus, a big favorite, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, Detroit was also favored by it was 90% public bet and 10% for Washington. 90% of y'all lost y'all money.
Yeah.
Y'all lost y'all money. I bet on that game and I won like 20-something bucks. I only bet like $5 or something like that. Still won. Hell yeah, used it and bought tea or something nice, but whatever.
Bread is bread.
Yeah, it's looking like 87% of the public is taking the over. 47.5. I agree with it. I think it was. Well, you know what? Yeah, I agree with it because I said 30-24 Commanders. So that's over. That's 54. So.
Yeah, in contrast to you, I'm 23-20 Commanders, and I'm going with the under.
All right, so we'll see what happens on that one. I feel like Saquon Barkley definitely rips off a big run. I say a 40-yard touchdown. I mean, our defense is poor. We're opportunistic, but, you know, we are poor against the run. Ranked 30th, I believe. But, you know, everybody's saying Eagles, and the number one ranked defense, blah, 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 blah. N'Keal Dean is out, and Quinyon Mitchell is playing through a shoulder injury. We'll see what happens.
Again, this is the time where excuses are done with. You just got to go out and win the game. You got here for a reason. You can win it.
Yeah, the Commanders we weren't even supposed to get this far. So we're literally looking at this game like, oh, if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. Big damn deal. The Eagles, they have a lot more pressure to perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Saquon Barkley.
Window's frozen.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley, and then their defense. I mean, their defense has some spot. Has some. I think they have 2 defensive rookie of the year finalists, don't they? Quinyon. Well, yeah, right, don't they? So
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that with Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell.
every time I think of Quinyon Mitchell, I think of onion rings for some reason. I don't know why.
Anyan Mitchell.
Onion Mitchell.
Funyon Mitchell.
All right. I predict JD's. I predict Jaden Daniels probably to take 1 sack to Jalen Carter, and that's it for the game. And I feel like that comes in the. I feel like that comes in the first quarter. But I feel like we make adjustments.
1 sack all
1
game.
sack. I mean, it was. I believe it was 1 sack in Week 16 as well, and that's with Sam Cosmi in there and all that. But we'll see. We'll see how they fare. We'll see how Trent Scott fares, how Tyler Biotish fares with the double teams and all that stuff, and how Andrew Wiley fares on that side. Maybe they move. Well, Jalen Carter's just right over the right guard position, anyways, right? He doesn't really move, does he?
Yeah, typically lines up along the right guard center.
All right,
or left guard center.
All right, so we'll see how Biotish and Trent Scott do. Let's hope they can perform. Like I said, 1 sack for Jalen Carter. I feel like we get a little bit, we'll get a little antsy in the first quarter, like our first couple drives, kind of like how it was with the Lions, where we kind of like failed on that 4th down with that really botched 4th and 1 with Mariota. Then the Lions scored, and then we kind of settled down and got right to it. I feel like it happens in this game too, because Philadelphia is more experienced in championship games as of late and deep playoff runs as opposed to us. This is our first time deep in the playoffs and God knows how long, since 91 really, because 2005 we only won 1 game.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be, we're gonna be battle tested, we're gonna be tested for sure, but I feel like we turn around and I feel like we settle down, and I feel like everybody's saying Jaden Daniels, he doesn't get rattled. Nothing rattles him. He's always smiling through sacks, always smiling through, getting tackled. I think I watched a mic'd up clip of him. He was literally getting dogpiled on, and he's sitting there giggling.
Yeah. No, he's a funny guy for sure. He gives all his glory to God. The whole 1, 2, 3 on or Cancun on me thing on Terrion Arnold's jersey as well. Super funny.
That was funny.
So, again, I think the Commanders eke this one out. I think they stop Saquon just enough, and they go to the Super Bowl.
I'm not gonna say I hope for it, because I want Jalen Hurts to stay in the game, because I'm tired of hearing the Eagles. Oh, y'all beat us without Jalen Hurts. I mean, y'all backup put 41 points on the freaking Cowboys. We don't need to talk about. Yeah, y'all backups they're fine. They're serviceable. I mean, yeah. It's kind of hard when you have no reps. You're basically taking mental reps and coming into a game that you didn't expect to play in back in Week 16. But you're a pro. This is what you sign up for. But anyways, I hope Jalen Hurts doesn't get hurt. I just hope. I hope he doesn't. I hope he finishes this game so there's no excuses for Philly fans if and when Washington wins. And if Philadelphia wins, my hats off to them. I just don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl with them. I'd rather see the Bills. So if it's Philadelphia and Buffalo, fine. But my prediction is Buffalo and Commanders.
Yep.
And I feel like
manifest that.
Yeah, and I feel like the Commanders give the Buffalo Bills in 5 Super Bowl appearances their fifth loss. I feel like the Bills don't win their first one. It's gonna be really crazy because KC and Buffalo, they're no slouches. Those teams can hang with the best. I think Patrick Mahomes. I see more of Jaden Daniels and Patrick Mahomes, and that's what a lot of people were saying. Like when they need points down late, Patrick delivers. Same thing with Jaden's been delivering all year for us. And honestly, I'd rather face Josh Allen and the Bills. I mean, not saying Josh Allen can't come back, because I'm sure he's had game-winning drives, but I'm more afraid of the Chiefs than I am of the Bills.
It's fair enough, and I think this year I would be a little more scared of the Bills just because the running game they've built and everything like that. But again, you're right. When it comes down to it, Patrick Mahomes finds a way to deliver and get them on somehow to the next round. So,
and we're not Chris Collinsworthing it. We're not glazing Patrick Mahomes here. Honestly, nobody wants to see him on the couch as much as I do. So Hey, you're muted, brother.
No,
Oh,
I'm not. I just wasn't saying anything because I
oh, you're
didn't want
good.
to. I love Patrick Mahomes and freaking glaze him in the mic. I didn't want to do that.
Oh man, freaking Patty
Oh,
Pat. Oh my god. All right, so like I said, 30-24 Commanders is my prediction. I say 31-24 actually makes more sense. I feel like it's touchdowns, and then I feel like we scored 28 points off of TDs and then one field goal. I guess field goal comes in the first quarter. Like like I said, when we have to settle down. I feel like after that, it's straight touchdown drives. I would like to see no punts from the Commanders, but we probably will, maybe once or twice. I feel like Tressway gets some workout yeah, Tressway definitely gets some workout this week. And Zane Gonzalez, I feel like he has to kick like a 30, maybe like a 32, 33-yard field goal. Then we'll call it even there. Um Terry,
alrighty.
I believe Terry takes advantage of Quinyon Mitchell, gets a TD. Brian Robinson, I feel like, I mean, he's been very cold, hot and cold. I mean, he's been more cold so than hot. But against the Rams, not the Rams, against the Lions, he did some damage. But at the same time,
He was pretty good.
yeah, but the Lions defense is all injured, and that's what all Lions fans' excuses are right now. Oh, our defense is injured. Yeah, well, you guys were hanging 40, 50 points on teams, and you weren't complaining about your defense then. Yes, your offense was masking the issues, but now the fact that the Commanders' offense outscored you, now it's all about the Lions' defense, and that's the reason why y'all lost. Ain't no way.
Again, it was because of turnovers.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Turnovers are the biggest way to swing games, and 5 of them will swing a game pretty hard.
Oh yeah.
So,
You got any predictions on on the parlays for this game? Like I said, I think Terry is an automatic lock. I think Saquon is another automatic lock. But those are easy bets, and I want to take a risky pick. So I think Dallas Goddard gets another touch. I think Dallas Goddard gets a touchdown, and I think. Well, I'd like to. I don't want to see Zach Ertz. I mean, Zach Ertz could get him one. I'm gonna go both tight ends, and I'm gonna go. AJ Brown gets one.
okay,
AJ Brown gets
I
one.
respect it.
So AJ Brown
I'll
gets.
go.
Yeah, good.
Sorry, go ahead. No. You go. You go.
All right, so AJ Brown gets one, Dallas Goddard gets one, Jalen Hurts gets one, Saquon Barkley. Oh no, that's 28. Well, I'm about to go back to my own prediction here. All
Looks
right,
like he might be scared of the Eagles scoring a lot. Might change the
nah,
game.
nah. All right, I'll take away the Jalen Hurts touchdown. I say AJ Brown gets one. I say Saquon Barkley, and I say Dallas Goddard. For the Commander side, I would say Scary Terry. You said something about Jaden scrambling last week for a touchdown that didn't come to fruition. I don't feel like we get there this week either. So I'd say maybe B Rob gets a goal line or Eckler. I'd say B Rob. So it's Terry, B Rob, and I feel like Zach Ertz gets one, and then maybe Diami, maybe Diami. He's been pretty good in the playoffs, so we'll see. So I say Diami, Robinson. So it could be either Diami or Eckler. So Diami or Eckler, Robinson, McLaurin.
All the players on the
All the
all the
players.
players on the.
All the players.
Uh,
Hell, John Bates and freaking Ben Sinnott. I don't know. Screw it. All right, go ahead. What's your picks?
um, if I'm going like an obscure touchdown score from either team, give me Olodumare Zaccheaus to get in the zone.
There you go.
Um,
The
and if
Eagle
we're
Killer.
picking one from the Eagles, screw it, Jahan Dotson. Revenge game.
Do you think that revenge game puts us away? I mean, I could see Jahan Dotson scoring a touchdown for sure, but I mean, how often is he going to be out there? He's what, the third or fourth?
No.
He's like the fourth wide receiver, right?
I think he's their third, but still, no,
Third,
it's
yeah.
just obscure. I mean, I'd pick like Devonta Smith. In all honesty, I think the Eagles are gonna have to pass a little bit more, and Jalen Hurts, lack of mobility is gonna hurt him a little bit. They're gonna have to pass a little bit more, and that's where Devonta gets his.
Well, I feel like
Zaccheaus.
no, I feel like if he's more hurt than he's letting on, what I'm really debating is I feel like we crash the box down like how we played against Kenny Pickett and limit Saquon Barkley. I feel like we don't limit him as much as, you know, everybody would love to see him limited. That's not an Eagles fan, but I'd say we keep him under $150. Keep him under $150. But I'm saying if Jalen Hurts can't run, that's really where the Eagles' offense is so dangerous. You know, Jalen Hurts can take those zone reads or the RPOs. He can go. He can scoot. But with them not doing it, well, like with him staying more in the pocket, I believe we can contain just a little bit better. And I feel like, you know, the Eagles offense won't be all it's cracked up to be as far as running the ball. I feel like Saquon's gonna get his runs. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna be delusional here, but I'm saying I feel like it'll be a lot easier to contain.
Yeah. No, I get you. It should be the game plan going into it, and I think they'll survive.
Frankie Louvu, please do not go for Jalen Hurts' knees. We do not need to be hearing all week. Even if let's say we win and the Eagles lose, and Jalen Hurts ends up tearing his ACL or something crazy like that, just because I needed a helmet from Frankie Louvu, we don't want to hear for the rest of the offseason, oh, Frankie Louvu's so dirty. Man, shut up. Stop complaining. That's what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be the same. You're not gonna hear Commanders fans saying, "Oh, the refs this," even though Sean Hockley 6-0. The Eagles are 6-0 with Sean Hockley reffing. He favors he favors the favorite teams, I believe. So we're not gonna complain about that one. Either way, we gotta just play ahead, stay ahead. Don't put the game in the hands of the Zebras. Keep the game in our control. That's the only way we can win.
Sounds like you should be in the Commander's locker room right now.
No, Dan. Nah, Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn. Wait. I'm gonna say this right now. Commanders. Anytime, anywhere. This is our time. Let's go. That Dan Quinn speech right there. All right. Dan Quinn, if you get to the Super Bowl and if you 28-3 us again, I swear to God, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna be so pissed. We're gonna hear, oh, we're just another Falcons team. We're never gonna get back. See, the thing is the Falcons went, and this is what I'm kind of afraid of, because you make the NFC Championship game as a rookie. Your sophomore season is going to be high expectations. What if you don't perform? What if you take a step back? What if you have a sophomore slump? What if you turn into the Falcons and you don't end up ever going back? I hope we win.
Yeah, because that Super Bowl hangover, if you lose, is real.
Yeah.
Look at the Bengals ever since.
You think Jaden Daniels gets the Madden cover if he wins the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he might get it without the Super Bowl.
I hope he doesn't. We don't want the Madden curse.
I think Saquon's gonna get it right now.
But the Madden curse is real. No Washington players need to be on that cover. All right, well, we made our predictions here, and we're kind of, wow, drug it out for 55 minutes. That's good. Well, guys. It's been JDB Sports. I mean, we're gonna cut out now. But it's been a hell of a good time with y'all. Anyways, let's run over our predictions one last time for people that are still watching in case they didn't see. So I picked 30-24 Commanders, and I picked 30-27 Bills. What did you pick up?
23-20 Commanders. I think I said 27-24 Bills.
All right, guys. We'll see you here next week or whatever, and we'll see how that goes. So, with that being said, this is JDB Sports. Y'all take care. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you back here next Saturday. Hopefully with the Commanders and Bills in the Super Bowl, but we'll see. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend. Enjoy Championship Sunday, and let's get to it. All right. So that's...
Bang.
Yes, sir.